Call this meeting of the Board of Dental Examiners of the State of Alabama for Friday, August the 7th to order. And let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now we'll have a roll call to establish quorum. McElwain here.
White here.
York here.
Bishop here.
Talbot here. Harry here.
Gray here. Okay, all members are present. Executive Director, do we have a quorum?
Yes, sir.
Okay, a quorum has been verified. Dr. White, okay, we got the minutes. In the minutes, I noticed one thing in there, that on the 16th, when we went into executive session, that it should always reflect a roll call vote anytime you go into executive session, and that needs to be amended. Otherwise, I didn't see any additions or deletions to the minutes. Do I hear a motion that we approve with that change?
Motion.
Motion by Dr. Talbot, second by
Dr. White.
Dr. White. McElwain, yes.
Ray, yes.
White, yes.
York, yes.
Bishop, yes.
Talbot, yes. Harry, yes.
Okay, and the minutes are approved and amended. Dr. White, the financials.
Mr. President, members of the board, members of the public, in the board packet, you will find the financials for the August 2026 board meeting. Here are some points about the fiscal year financials with periods covering October 1, 2025 through September 30, 2026, month ending June 30, 2026. The total revenues for the fiscal year are 90.19% of the annual budget. At this point, they're 15.22% higher due to unanticipated increase in the following categories: the mobile dental facility, portable dental operations applications for certification fees, the ADHP instructor course certification fees, dental hygiene license by credentials, and ADHP application fees. Operating expenses for the fiscal year are 49.39% of the annual budget, amounts due to several expense renewals occurring during July and August, causing the percentage to be below the 74.97% mark. It's noteworthy that the dental annual registration fee and the dental hygiene registration fee are 94.34% and 93.63% respectively, as expected at this point of the year. This accounts for natural attrition of those licensees who are retiring, disabled, or not practicing for various reasons. Also, the permits, the CS, OCS, PS, and the GA are all at approximately 90%. That concludes the financial report. Are there any questions?
Okay, with the presented financial report, do I hear a motion that we accept the report?
Motion.
Motion by Dr. Gray, second
Second.
by Dr. York. All in, okay, roll call vote.
Gray, yes.
McElwain, yes.
White, yes.
York, yes.
Bishop, yes.
Talbot, yes. Harry, yes.
All right, and the financials are approved. We had two public comments on 270X-2.27. Kevin, refresh that rule to me.
It is not appropriate to discuss it at this time. The comment section closes August 28th. So
Oh, okay.
we'll take all those comments in turn at that time when everybody has the opportunity to comment and that public hearing is held for that rule. That is the O-beams or high fidelity.
High fidelity.
Yeah. That
Okay.
one that Dr.
All right.
Cosmo was talking about.
Okay. All right. Unfinished business. The name change for the Alabama Impaired Professionals Committee was Mr. Ingram going to call in or?
No, sir, he's unable to attend, but he said he would address this in the September meeting.
Okay. General Counsel Committee, Dr. Gray.
So we took a look at some of the resumes in months past, and anyway, ended up just like a lot of things in business or in dentistry, word of mouth referrals generally end up with better results than just anything off the street. So it came across my desk this resume that's in front of you, Mr. Brett Adair. He's got 30 years of legal experience in a wide variety of different legal aspects that seem to fit well as a potential general counsel candidate for this board and fill our needs. So I went ahead and called him on the phone just to kind of vet him, on a 10, 15-minute call, and very nice guy, seemed put together, very knowledgeable. And so I would like for us to consider interviewing this candidate with the resume in front of you at our September meeting as a potential general counsel for hire under the same contract terms that we had previously of $195 an hour. I think it's 300 every 2 years is the maximum, but we've got all those. That's all set by the state, so it wouldn't be any different than what we've proposed in the past to general counsel candidates. But that's for your consideration. And are there any questions about his credentials or consideration for interview?
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we try to schedule Mr. Adair for an interview at the September board meeting.
A motion has been made. Is there a second?
I said that.
Second by Dr. Talbot. McElwain, yes.
White, yes.
York, yes.
Bishop, yes.
Talbot, yes. Terry, yes.
Gray, yes.
Okay, and we will interview Mr. Adair at our September meeting. Okay, Dr. Gray, salary discussion.
Oh, got them just back to back. Okay. So my thought was that this goes for our anesthesia committee and the ADHP, but I know that let's talk about ADHP first. I know talent when I see it, and I know people that are highly credentialed that are hard to replace when I see them, and that are committed to the programs that we have installed, such as these two organizations under our purview, ADHP and the anesthesia committee, namely. And I know that we have asked a lot recently with the increased class size and kind of that vision for the ADHP program from this board. So with that all in consideration, we have Dr. Hussein Basma, who has been with the program for several years, double or triple board certified as a licensed or as a professional in dentistry. And he's currently only getting $2,000 a month for that position, which is relatively low compared to his credentials and expertise. So I'd like to make a proposal that we increase his salary to $2,500 a month to fairly compensate him for his time, efforts, and expertise. The same thing goes with the head of the anesthesia committee in general. These are highly qualified individuals, not just the head of the anesthesia committee that go around ensuring safety within our state for site visits, but also it takes a lot of time and travel. And I think that's kind of at the same $2,000 a month is a little bit low, especially considering that at some point in time, we're going to have a transition from, somebody's going to retire and we're going to need a number that attracts and makes it worth somebody else's time to fulfill that position. So I'm kind of thinking the same thing for the head of the anesthesia committee to consider going from $22,000 a month to $2,500 a month. So you're looking at about a $6,000 raise for both of those positions for consideration.
Okay. Dr. Gray has made the recommendation to increase Dr. Basma and Dr. Coslin to $2,500 a month for their respective positions. Do I hear a motion?
A motion.
The motion has been made. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Now let's have a discussion. One of the things that, as I look at anesthesia, is the people that participate with the anesthesia chairman are only able to be compensated $300 a day. Well, sometimes that means a person has to shut down their practice in North Alabama and drive to South Alabama to participate. Now they get mileage and all, but really spending 5 or 6 hours, or sometimes as much as 8 hours, in doing that, and it just seems to me that is an unfair compensation. And that's why it's harder to get people to do it. Kevin, do you know, are we limited by statute or by board rule on that? It's one of those that I'm not sure about.
I'm not 100% positive. Can verify, of course, but I think it's a contractual issue.
Yeah,
And approval, of course.
right. I'd like to bring that back in September and discuss what we're allowed to do and not do. Dr. Finn?
We are under a 5-year contract with each one of them,
Okay,
so we would have to terminate those contracts
okay.
and put it back out there on RFP.
All right, and when did we do the contracts?
February.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we're that's to 31. 26 to 31 then. Okay. All right. I'm sorry.
That's doable, but I just.
Yeah. I just see it in the future that it's going to become more difficult to get helpers if you can't compensate them in some way, and fairly, so, okay. Any other discussion on this?
I'll bring it back up.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to bring it back up. Just know more about it.
Do we have a max in our budget for those line items?
I mean, that's the setback.
Okay.
And we're in the middle of budgeting, so.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Mark, how much are we charging the ADHP residents to help out? Did we go up on that one?
Yeah, they get 600 a day.
600, so they, so
The residents get.
Well, that's sort of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Is that we're paying the residents $600 a day to do this, but then we don't pay somebody
that's right.
who's board certified to go.
To travel 3 hours.
Yeah. It just seems like that's an unfair. That's why I want to talk about it more.
Okay.
And it may be that we have some statutory or some board rule thing that we have to work on. It may not be a quick fix. Okay, we have the question on the floor and has been discussed. Now I call for a vote. McElwain, yes.
White, yes.
York, yes.
Bishop, yes.
Talbot, yes. Perry, yes.
Gray, yes.
And then that is approved to increase. All right. Excuse me.
So a contractual thing, because they're both under contracts.
Yeah.
So since they're under current contracts, we can put out an RFP to get those increased
Okay.
and terminate the old ones and
Yes, ma'am. Well,
it's not a thing.
yes, ma'am. We'll do it for the administrative code.
And that's annually.
All right. Board member handbook, and Dr. White's been working herself to death on it.
Okay. All right, got my budget here. So it's in the packet, if everyone would look at it. I just want to highlight a few things. Obviously, we're not going to go through this whole manual. What I thought was important, and I believe the feedback that I got, is knowing how to fill out the documents, the travel forms, knowing how to complete consent order, all of that is copied in it, along with giving website, because obviously it's too much to write. There are website links on where to go for the travel forms. That seemed to be really the biggest problem for myself included, but most of the feedback that I got was from those forms. There's also a section for all of the acronyms. I think that will help everyone when we know where to go. Everybody, it gives job descriptions, who to go to for specific requests, who would handle those requests, and how they can disseminate the information to the rest of the team.
Okay. I've been working on a preface letter and I've rewritten it about 10 times. And so I'll rewrite it another 4 times or 5 times and then submit it to the board. Trying to be careful what you say, but trying to think of something that would endure. So a little harder than it looks like. And I think a board handbook is a great idea. And I think it's a good thing because Renee, as you know, you get here and then all of a sudden there's a whole lot of things that you're supposed to know that there's no way to know. Okay.
So hopefully, Dr. Finn and I spoke about this. We can have it and ready to be bound for the October meeting
Okay.
for everyone.
All right. I'd like to make a motion that we continue to work on our board manual and that we attempt to have it ready to for the October meeting.
I second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, McElwain, yes.
Let me just throw this in there. I think that this is a really, really good start. Did you type this up from scratch? Because that's pretty impressive. It's like 100+ pages, isn't it?
Oh my gosh. Yes, I've worked on it for about 4 months now.
Yeah, that's good.
Since May.
So one of the things, and this is just an observation, it's not a critique. But when we have in here kind of the mission of the board, and I totally agree with it. I think it should be slightly tweaked just a little bit, where it says, remember every board decision should answer one question. And this is true. Does this action protect the health, safety, and public welfare of the public? And if the answer is yes, this action is supported by law, the board is fulfilling this mission. And I don't have any problem with the way that's worded. I do think we want in there somewhere, and this is just me and up for debate, but because that alone could be taken to its nth degree, and I'd like something in there about, and this is not the right wording, but it to say, and not be overly onerous or not be overly burdensome, or you know what I mean? Because we have to temper our decisions with the practicality of what we're imposing on the profession as we fulfill our mission protecting the public. Otherwise, am I making sense? Here's my example. If the answer is yes, and the action is supported by law, the board's fulfilling its mission. So what if we, by that, taking that on its face, you could say, well, we should require, does 1,000 hours of CE protect the public more than 100 hours, more than 10 hours? And so I don't know if we want to, and the answer is probably yes, but at some point it becomes so overly burdensome that the red tape and the regulation starts to degrade our exact mission itself because it's not practical. So I don't know if we want to, does that make sense? I don't know if we want to build that into the mission of the board at all, or if we want to, again, this is just kind of open thought and discussion.
Well, you have here through fair consistency, and I think fair should be the common sense. I think we took care of that, but the work through fair and consistent and effective regulation.
Where's that?
At the top of the page, where
Yeah, page 47.
It's in bold.
Yes, right.
The top of that thing,
Yeah.
47.
Yeah, see, I like, and, yeah, I like the way that's worded.
Yeah.
The word effective regulation.
That's right.
So, yeah, I mean, that to me is, I guess I was just looking at that one section in the vacuum, and it was just a point of observation.
So now is the time if we want to add anything. Because obviously this is version 1.
Yeah.
It's not, it's just to help us get.
It's
started.
impressive.
So
So
we
it's very
could
good.
be
Yeah.
going in with
Exactly.
help.
Oh, yeah.
In the month between now and our next meeting, if you have suggestions you would like to submit to Dr. White, that's appropriate. Okay, but our goal should be to try to have something finished for the new cycle.
Right.
That's our
When
goal.
a new member's installed, they have something to go by.
Yeah. I mean, something, for the new cycle. Okay. Now, so we had that. I'm sorry, but my Aircept's not working today. We have the motion second, and we have the question on the floor. McElwain, yes.
Yes.
White, yes.
York, yes.
Bishop, yes.
Talbot, yes. Perry, yes.
All right. And so we now have a stated goal to try to have this manual finished. Any additions or changes you'd like to make, please submit them to Dr. White before the next meeting, and we'll move forward. All right. We're down to Rule 270 X2.27, rule change. Mr. Lane?
Yes, sir. This is again referring to the previously stated rule about the high fidelity airway courses. We can discuss this next with Dr. Crosland, but he had a couple of other points that he generally wanted to make known and then potentially amend for that rule. And it would be more appropriate to have that during the public discussion portion
Okay.
and allow for the opportunity for that to take place.
Okay. I've had a number of phone calls about this, and I think the board's got a little work to do too, because we need to make sure we flesh out exactly what it would cost to do this, not only for it to be put on, but for what it would be charged to individual licensees, and make sure that we don't create a rule that we have a difficult time letting people properly follow. And that was pointed out to me, the fact that a lot of people are feeling a lot of pressure about the fact that we've required ACLS and now we're going to require a high fidelity course that's expensive too. And I just think we need to make sure we thoroughly discuss this before we implement it.
Another point that was brought up is how long would, let's say a rule like this goes into effect, how long do people have to become compliant the first time, like to get that first course, 6 months, 12 months? So that's just another consideration.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that, I know for oral surgery, it may be offered in state. I don't know currently if, I know there's some other third-party vendors that do these type of courses that can be brought in, but I'm not sure right now that there's options in state, but not that couldn't change.
But I think that's exactly the point I'm making, Holt, is that it's one thing to create a rule, but it's another thing to make the rule obtainable and solvable and enforceable if you don't give adequate opportunity. And I have a feeling that this may be one of those times that we have to project a future date, and we also have to make sure that it can be offered in a way that people can get to it. It's a little more complex, this particular rule is, than a lot of things we've talked about in the future, because there's not currently a program offered, with the exception of for oral and maxillofacial surgeons, to do this. And so we have to make sure that program is available and affordable and reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. we'll visit that again, Kevin.
Is this is just an idea, but is it possible where this board could put on courses like that or no? Or bring in, I'm not put on courses, but bring in a vendor that could put on this type course? Is that or is that off the table for an organization like this?
As I know, other boards have done it that way. I don't see why we couldn't. I mean, we can look and make sure. Bar does it, everything else, where they kind of coordinate or could bring them in and
Right.
sponsor them some type of way. So we could look into that, but I do think it's a possibility.
Let's look into that as part of the project.
Yeah, I agree. I think if we move forward with this rule, we need to make sure that we set up a way that it can be done. And you know, as you know, you can't have just one time in a year. Everybody got to do it then. You got to have more than one time, and you got to have it accessible, and you got to have it reasonable. Okay. Let's move down to F, online ADHP instructor certification course. Ms. Perry.
We have been working on streamlining and getting sponsorship available online, and we gave, Dr. Talbot and I gave Sharon the adjustment to the slides that we wanted to see made. We hope to have that done. It may be the first of the year, but definitely before the February meeting in Birmingham.
Okay.
That's wonderful. I think that's a great job.
All right. So we're going to get that done. That's good. Credits, annual meeting representation, Dr. York.
So when I came on the board almost 2 years ago now, I was asked to serve on the credit steering committee, which I did, and went to the annual meeting last August in Omaha. And then I wanted, UAB does ADEX. And so I did that in February, but to do that in February, I had to resign from credits because those two organizations are, well, they just don't play good together. I guess maybe something I can say. And so I had to resign from credits. I did let them know that. Got email verification that I had resigned. Something did not get transmitted to up the credits line. And so I got an email 2 weeks ago wanting to know if I'd procured my airfare and hotel for Omaha. And I said, well, I actually resigned. They went back and looked. They found that I had resigned. And this actually has come up in the board meeting 2 or 3 months ago, too. Credit simply wants the Alabama Dental Board to have a representative on their steering committee. It's nothing to say that we have to. It's a request. And so when the guy confirmed that I had actually resigned, he said, would you please try again to see if there's any way Alabama Dental Board, if be the board members would serve as a credit steering committee member. My question is, and I don't know the answer to this, does it have to be a current board member? Can it be someone else? I know Miss Alexander did it for years, but I also know too she has a harder time traveling now than she has in the past. So I don't know if anyone knows the answer to that or if anyone's willing to do that, but I do think that will disqualify you from being an ADEX examiner.
Okay, so they knew you resigned because
Yes.
they sent me the same email saying that I was their representative. So they fully knew that you did. And I explained to them that I too was part of ADEX and that it was a conflict. And she said she was certain that we had to have somebody from this board, but that she would get back with me. I've not heard back. But that was 2 weeks ago.
That's probably the timeline for me too, Kelly.
Mr. President, I don't think we have to have a credits representative. That's my opinion.
Would you repeat that?
Yeah, I don't think we have to have it.
Thank you.
I don't think we need to have it. We have to, in credits.
Request.
It's just a request. And so, I think if we want to, that's fine. I don't think we have to.
Okay. Who all are ADEX examiners?
Yeah. I think Holt is too.
I don't even know if I am.
You are.
Okay.
So that leaves Dr. McElwain.
Uh-huh.
I
Not me, buddy.
tried.
Nope. They, Credits doesn't want me. All right, and they're not getting me either. All right, moving on to H, ordering drugs with no permit, Mr. Lane.
That is a project that Cameron Dunn, Shannon, and I have worked on. The general question was whether or not you were just simply permitted to order a drug by virtue of possessing a controlled substance permit and EA permit or certification. And it's going to involve more time to get you a comprehensive answer. But superficially, the answer is yes, your statute allows for the ordering. It bars you from using things outside of your scope. So it doesn't, the DEA didn't seem to have an issue with you, speaking generally, of ordering methadone as an example. But there's no applicable use case for methadone in dentistry. So you wouldn't have the ability to use that once you possess it. So while we're discussing the DPA rewrites and discussing rules to support it, that would be an appropriate place to put limitations or consider structural changes to full schedule permissions through the DEA. Because currently, once you apply, this board offers just unfettered access to schedules 2 through 5. So if that's something that needs to be considered, it would have to be statutory to adjust.
Okay, so that'd be a statute change.
There are other global topics to that effect, but generally, yes.
Okay. And as we're going through the DPA, when we get to that section, we could work on what we need that to say. All right. We're down to the budget. Dr. Finn, Ms. Thomas?
I gave you a copy of the budget for 2027. And this one is, has a little bit more information. It's got a history in it. It's got, the current fee structure. And one of the things that, we need to look at is ceilings on fee structure when we're working through the DPA. If you want to increase the ceilings, then now's the time to do it, I guess. License holders by state, licensees, some statistics that people call all the time and want to know about. How many dentists that are in different specialties, those kind of pieces of information are included in here. I am going to go back and put the 25 information so we can compare growth or compare different counties and how they might have had 5 one year, and then now they don't have as many. Another thing that I think we would probably like to see in here is to see if we are increasing our number of dentists and increasing our number of hygienists and where we stand in comparison to other years. Then after the statistics, there's the revenue section. Again, I take the current number of licensees, and I use that as our basis for revenue projections. And that kind of includes the 5% variance that usually happens from year to year with retirements and people moving and people deciding not to renew their licenses. Expenses in the far right corner or the far right of the expense sheets, you'll notice that there are notes, and that kind of gives you some information as to what these accounts are used for, what comes out of those accounts, how they're set up. And I've included an actual for 24-25 in there, so you can kind of see if expenses are going up or expenses are going down, or if they're staying relatively the same. All of these figures will be updated for the September meeting as of the end of August. So you'll have exact current numbers with just 1 month missing. So it'll show and be a little bit more reflective. When calculating different things, I have to look at board member compensation, And there's an information sheet on here for clarification. Those are the things that, for those different accounts that might have exceptions. Things that we need to order because we're adding new employees or items that, might, have occurred, like the stairwell repair. Also on there is anything extraordinary, like, this is our year for the ACE review. So, we will have a larger number in the ACE column because it's not just the annual payment, it's also the third year or our renewal of our 3-year approval. And the last is the salary as it stands right now for the current employees. And of course, with the reviews that'll occur before September, those will be added in here. So you'll have more firm numbers. Any questions?
Dr. White, anything on the budget that you'd like to talk about?
The only thing I see, there's not anything for wellness monitoring for this year. Is that, does it stay the same?
Dr. York, I don't want to put you on the spot, but help me remember that we worked on that, 2 years ago now, just about. So to answer your question, Dr. White, we used to take in those monies as is appropriate. However, 2 years ago or so, the board tried to create that firewall between this institution and that committee specifically. So those monies are taken in by that. It's a separate contract with that organization as opposed to us specifically.
All right. Any other discussion?
Now would be a time to, if you want to add anything or have it divided out even more, to be more specific, we would have time to do this. So.
Mr. Driscoll, come forward and turn that microphone on for him.
Good morning. I'm Jim Driscoll, working with you guys as your CPA representative. First off, as you go through the budget process, I just want, Dr. Finn, most people in the private sector that we deal with, especially when it comes to budgeting, they just want to know what time it is. They don't really care how the watch works. Not only does Dr. Finn know how the watch works, she knows where the parts are sourced to make it. So it's very detailed that she's going through. But what I wanted to mention as well was, as you begin to work through the budget, you're going to go back to your financial statements. And when you get towards the end of the financial statements, they look a little crazy because the numbers, as far as like increase or decrease in net position is a negative 474%. You have to understand that's not talking about dollars and cents. That's talking about comparing the actual expenses to what the budgeted expenses were. And so far, our budget would project that by the time we got to the end of the year, we're actually upside down by a couple $100,000. Whereas right now, we're actually up by just short of $1 million. And that's because you got so many expenses that you haven't incurred yet. You had $150,000 in improvements for the building, things like that, $60-something thousand for new vehicles that haven't been purchased. You've saved, $300,000 in legal fees because you don't have an attorney right now. So all those things are adding up that generate this positive cash flow that you have right now. But when you get to the end of this statement, that percentage of budget is just simply taking where we are right now in actual, adding to that what was the projected end of year deficit, and that's where you come up with that remaining negative $1,198,000. That's just telling you that compared to the budget, you have saved $1,198,000. It's not that that remaining number is actually a dollar figure. So as you start through this, because if you look at it, you're looking at all your percentages, and then you get to the end, and it looks like the whole world's just flipped upside down, and you've overspent your budget by 474%, when in fact, no, you've saved that much, just because you've had a number of expenses that haven't been incurred yet. They may be before the end of September, but as of right now, they haven't been.
All right, good.
So
Thank you.
just real quick, from your perspective, are we being fiscally responsible? And do you have any recommendations that you see that are just glaring that we need to look at from a budget or expense versus revenue standpoint.
I haven't seen anything. Now, I just got a copy of the budget this morning. Dr. Finn sent it over to me earlier this week. We've been involved in peer review this week, and that has taken all the oxygen out of our office. So just, complying with all those things. So we're just now starting, to go through and review it. Based on past performance, you've been pretty close. When we finished the audit, you were within a couple $100,000 of net income, to, actually a positive income to the board. So that's not, when you look at a budget, that's a couple $1 million, that's, being within that, just a few percentage points is very good. We're going to go back through it though with Dr. Finn and, just make sure everything checks off, but we haven't seen anything. I mean, this year's unusual for you because you've had so many things that haven't happened that you had planned on happening, like the building and the parking lot and the cars and the attorneys, those, and those things you just can't, because you haven't had that position filled that would have driven those decisions to be made. So those things you just can't really, project when you're just doing budgeting. But no, to answer your question, nothing's out of line, everything, and the board's being very fiscally responsible. You're not wasting money. And when you get the opportunity, you're saving it at every chance you get. So it looks good from our end.
All right. So this budget will come back for approval, Dr. Finn,
September.
in September. That's what I thought. Okay.
This is just a review.
All right. Research reimbursement, Ms. Thomas.
Yeah, this is the 2025 research, that some hours were not approved. We've gone back and forth on how we were gonna handle this, but I think we finally came to a good spot. We talked to Cameron, had discussions with Mr. Driscoll, and if the board could go back and retro approve those hours and do a vote today, we're done with this subject and you will not have to need to recoup those dollars.
Okay. Do we have something prepared that details that so that we could make the appropriate motion?
I don't know that it's in this, it's the list that we've been working from for what each person owes.
It was in last month.
Yeah, it was in last month, but it's not this month's.
What I'm asking is, how do we formulate the appropriate motion to fix
To
these?
approve.
Right.
Cameron, can you help us on that?
I guess we was asking, do you have a list of what happened to actually get that order?
We can, if we want to do that after the break, we have,
Yeah,
we
that'd be
have the
fine.
dollars.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've got that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my question is does the dollar amount, because the dollar amount divided by 100 gives you the number of hours. And do just approving the dollar amount and the number of hours, is that the appropriate way to fix it?
Do we need to tag the activity with it? I mean, that should be in the.
As long as you're naming it that it's research, if it's prior research. then you're
Okay.
covering that amount.
Our research.
I think we could do that, just you're covering the amounts that's already been spent in the char retro.
Okay. I just want to make sure we do the motion right to not cause more problems. All right. So after the break, let's bring that back and formulate a motion. All right. Budget discussion on ADHP cost and fees, Ms. Thomas?
I think Dr. Finn already touched on this, but when we voted for the app fee to become $50 on ADHP, we need to spread the $250 extra dollars. It's capping out, and we only have $50 remaining for the ADHP categories. So we're gonna need to increase those fees, but we can do that, I think, through the budget process as well. And we may have to, yeah, I was about to say, we may have to do that in the DPA as well.
Okay, I have a question about that. We voted to lower that because so many applications. Okay, but if it's going online next year and they cannot submit it until it's complete, Does that not change things? If they can't submit it until their application is complete, maybe we could revisit the $50 fee, because the $50 fee was because we were cashing their check and they didn't complete applications.
Yeah, I think the only risk we have to that, Kelly, is when, yes, the tool will make sure that they're submitting something. We just gotta make sure that we still vet it and that it is the correct documentation and it's complying with what we've asked for. That's the only risk we
Okay.
have with that.
Well, vetting would be totally different. We were cashing checks, not letting them in because they forgot a driver's license or whatever at some point. So that's why we went to that. And it doesn't matter to me, but if it's a statutory change, we're gonna have to go through all these processes. If it's online now and we're streamlining that a little better to ensure that their application is complete, not vetted, but complete, we might, that makes a difference.
So are you suggesting not to lower it to the $50?
I'm suggesting let's talk about it
Okay.
before we go into the statute about it, because it may have fixed itself if you're doing it online. I don't know, because I don't know the online process yet. I'm assuming that we really don't know the whole online process.
With what we're doing in lumens?
The online process is only going to ensure that they have a document that they're uploading for each category. Just like any repository, you can upload something that may not make you qualify because it's not
Just a smart.
covering the time. Yeah,
True, but the
It's a space
documents that
filler.
we're requiring are like driver's license, certifications, the CPR and those kind of things, right?
right.
So again, that's on them if they upload a smiley face. I was just more concerned about them not sending anything in and not getting a chance to send it in.
Right.
But if they have to upload something, just like CE broker, it's on me if I upload a receipt to Walmart,
Correct.
you know, so they have to be held accountable at some point. And our accountability is on us. You know, I don't know. I just think that if it's going to require a whole big statutory change, then we may need to look at that again.
Well, if we, right now, we're maintaining the total costs the same. So if we have to make a change in how we distribute it between these four accounts, we can do so with a vote.
Oh, perfect.
But as far as the budget's concerned, the total's still the same.
So I was sharing, or I was just hazy. Can you say what you said again about we're coming up a little bit short, or we're getting close to the? I just didn't.
So there's a fee schedule and there's a cap on those fees.
Right.
And there's 4 categories for ADHP. And now that we are redistributing the $250 to things like training permit fee, instructional materials fee, and training educational fee, that $250 is shifting over there. It's
Okay.
capping those 3 categories out with the exception of $50.
And-
So the only thing we have to do, if someone were to say, we need to increase the total fee, regardless of where it lands in the budget, we need to increase the total fee. We would have a problem.
There's no place to increase it because there's
That's correct.
each
That's what I'm
line
saying.
item is capped, not the overall.
Yes, sir.
I see. And that's statutory.
Yes.
How many ceilings are there in statute for? On that
For ADHP,
for AHP?
only 4, yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize that. I thought it was just one global cap. Interesting.
Are we getting expired licensees in their application? Driver's license?
I'm sorry,
Are we getting expired license?
driver's
Driver's license?
license?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that to be an issue.
No, sir.
All righty.
Let's take a break for 10 minutes and then return at 9 p.m. 9 a.m. Sorry?
Oh, I know where it is in my desk. And that was
like Dr.
the thing.
York?
You've got 2 hours.
I was approved to do ADHD
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah. And when we're back in session. Friday, August 7th. Dr. Thomas, the director report.
Dr. McElwain, before we do that, I've got the numbers for the research. So we have for 2025, and that's the only year that we're dealing with, a total of 45 hours for $4,500.
Okay, and you have details on
Yes, sir. Correct.
for each board member.
Yes, sir.
The motion, that we retroactively approve, research, by board members, according to the amount listed, for 2025.
I second it.
Motion by Dr. Thomas, second by Dr. Piszczek. McElwain, yes.
White, yes.
York, yes.
Cishuk, yes.
Talbot, yes. Perry, yes.
Gray, yes.
All right, and so the motion is approved. And you'll just detail it with all the detail it needs, okay?
In the minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I'm excited to let everyone know that Gloria started this week. She's our new administrative coordinator. And along with her starting, we kicked off and launched a few new projects and processes that's going to benefit the licensees, et cetera. So for example, we're putting together a mail log. That mail log is for every piece of mail that comes into this building. So it's not a come in and it gets spread and we don't know where it's gone. So we will be logging all mail moving forward. We will be acknowledging all mail moving forward as well. So if it's an application for ADHP, an application for licensing, doesn't matter. We will be acknowledging and thanking them for their application or whatever it may be, and making sure that they know we got it, and that will help reduce phone calls moving forward into the building. When we are getting phone calls, we are now asking them to verify, phone number, email address, et cetera, because we've been getting complaints. People aren't getting our emails. So we're now taking that opportunity. When they call, we're verifying information. So all that's kicked off this week, and it's been an exciting week to get some things done that we've been looking at doing. We're continuing to build out policies and procedures. We're up to 53 new policies and procedures, which has been a lot of work. So there's been new policies, procedures written, training, making sure everybody's consistent and everybody knows what everybody's doing, what's their part of the policy. So that's been a good improvement. You all heard that we kicked off orientation with ADHP. Gina, Dr. Bosman did a great job. We had 0 Wi-Fi issues, and that was one of our biggest concerns. So that was a good outcome. We did have around 20 students that had device issues, meaning they came in, they couldn't get their device working. We had RJ Young with us. We took a team of people from here and we helped mitigate all of those problems so the students didn't have to leave the building and go out somewhere to Best Buy or whatever and try to get help. The next project that we're probably going to be working on is what I call task inventory. And that's where you go in and you look at all tasks within a department and then determine, making sure all policies and procedures have been documented properly, but you're also looking to see if you can streamline things that would allow the administrative assistant to take on more work away from other people, which will help reduce comp time, et cetera. So those are kind of our main projects we've been working on the last month.
Hey, could you tell me how many ADHP students were present for orientation?
222, Gina?
222.
222, and there were no technical issues?
There were no Wi-Fi issues.
No Wi-Fi issues on our part. Okay.
Sharon, quick question. This just popped in my head when you were talking about phones. I don't know if you guys ever have issues where people say, well, we didn't talk about that, or you didn't tell me that, or whatever. But do you guys have any need for, well, in our office now, anytime a patient calls in, AI will do a summary and write it in that patient's chart.
Oh,
So that is out there. And that's something too that's out there in private business. And I'm not calling this a private business, but you see where I'm going. You don't have to, it does not have to integrate necessarily with the practice management software. So it's something that you, I mean, just something to think about.
We have to go through the Office of Information Technology for our phones. So, that would be a state, mandate. So we can definitely inquire.
Are your phones, are they hard on or are they voice over IP?
The voice of
Good. That will, then I think it's possible. Okay.
yeah, we're about to start working on reporting that we want from Montgomery because that's lacking as well, that we can't get good phone reports and call reports and stuff. So we'll add that to the list.
I have another question. Have we ever considered, what a lot of the younger dentists, we are aware that they don't answer their emails or read their emails. Have we considered going into like a text messaging? Because like for my patients, we will send both. And so, the text message, people do pay attention because everybody has their phones with them these days. So it could be, read your email or, just a quick little summary of what's going on, that to me, that would get their attention.
Better than an email. Absolutely.
Yeah,
agree, Dr.
just like,
Talbot.
because I even have a friend who's like, if you've emailed me, text me to tell me to go to my email, but I think a lot of the younger dentists probably function in that.
I think you're absolutely correct. So we'll add that as well. Thank you for that suggestion.
One of the things that we've added to the election ballot is have you changed your preferred email address, or is there a new preferred email address? So that's another time that they will add an email address on there for us. And then the election people are going to send us those for updates. That's awesome.
When does renewal of license open up?
August 1st.
Okay, so it's open.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh.
That's what I thought.
Also, I was talked to Sharon about it. I was able to renew my permit just fine without adding a doctor.
Mhm.
We discussed that, but I cannot renew my infiltration license without adding a doctor. So
Okay.
I don't know if you've gotten calls about that I could not do that.
So speaking of that, I went to renew my license and the question came up, and maybe this is on purpose or maybe it's not, but it's worth considering. So it asked for anybody in my office and it asked for their BLS. So, for their date of their BLS. So, and I'm not sure that question is relevant for for front desk, for like front staff, or maybe somebody that comes in that's employed to clean the office on the weekends. I just don't know that it asks for any employees that I hire that are not hygienists. That was the question. You know what I'm talking about? And I don't know if we want to revisit that or not. I just didn't see the point in that question. I mean, I understand assistants that are sedation, you have to have, certain credentials, but it just seemed a little onerous to me. Just a thought.
We can definitely, if you guys want to have it changed, we can definitely do it for next cycle.
Yeah, I'm not talking this cycle, but yeah, case in point, at our office, we have on any given day, 6 doctors and 40 employees. So I'm just thinking every single one of our 6 associates, they're going to have to list all 40 employees. You know what I mean? So just a thought.
I think a couple of boards ago, I think that was to make sure that if you were doing sedation or anything in
Right.
your office, that everybody was part of the team.
Yeah, and it could be changed. I'm not opposed to that. It could be changed to list the assistants that work, with you under sedation, or it could be as part of the sedation permit renewal. Is an
Right.
idea.
And that is an optional question, so you don't
Right.
have to put
Right.
anybody there.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, that, on that one, they say that's voluntary. And you can,
So I can just leave it blank,
you can leave it blank, go in
and
there.
I'm not gonna get in trouble.
Yep.
Maybe by me, but.
Can I get that in writing?
One other question. I just hired a new dentist Monday right out of dental school. And I probably have access to this information, but their current license, does it still expire September 30 since they just paid this, or does it go through next year also? Did they get like a,
When did they renew?
it was,
When did they get their license? Was it before July 1st or after July 1st?
I have no idea.
If it was before July 1st, they renew this year. If it's after July 1st, they renew next year.
Okay. Good information. Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right, we're to the president's report. This month I have fielded a number of phone calls from lots of different people on a myriad of questions. Most of them deal with adverse occurrences, and they want to know whether an adverse occurrence that is incidental and involves no dental care, where the patient had a problem unrelated to the dentistry, needs to be reported to the board. And again, I emphasize to them that adverse occurrences are the result of dental care that you report. And I try to make that point, and I do it multiple times a month. And I think that's for everybody on the board. If you receive the phone call, Mr. So-and-so came to the office and fainted in the waiting room, that's not an adverse occurrence.
Okay, that's coming directly from the rule. The rule reads as a result of dental care.
Right. So I just want everybody to know that, so you know what to say. And if there's ever a question, when you're dealing with somebody asking you a question, then you can always refer them to the board president for them to look at it. And then, of course, before a definitive answer is given, if I have any question, I'll check with appropriate staff. All right, so that's one thing. Second thing is, and I mentioned it to you all a while ago, that I've received a number of phone calls and a number of people coming to see me concerned about airway management, the OBEAM, that's office-based emergency airway management type course. And the main things that they're concerned with is cost of the course, availability of the course, and what length of time they would have if such a rule passed for implementation. And I made them all aware that the board will carefully consider each one of these before we do anything. Another thing is I have made some informal contacts with members of the Sunset Committee, just making them aware of efforts the board has made over the last year to take care of all sorts of questions that we've had, and explain to them how that works and everything. And, there is not a lot of understanding exactly what we do. And they know we regulate licenses, but they don't understand exactly what that involves. And so anytime you receive a query, very, very careful and explain very thoroughly exactly what we do and everything, because that's going to go a long ways in helping these people understand. And I'm sure there will be some bumps in the sunset review, but I feel like that we're making every effort intentionally to handle everything we can to prevent this. And I think that we need to make sure that everything we say and everything we do supports the fact that we're more transparent, we're more aggressive about handling the questions, and we're carefully tracking what we do and how we do it. So these are important things, because I'd really like to see us in Sunset get a multi-year pass. And by that time, I more than likely will not be the president of the board, but I will be happy to represent us to the Sunset Committee in any capacity the board sees fit. Okay? All right. And that's my report for this month. Wellness Committee, Dr. John Bennett.
Hey, testing, does that work? Yes, it does. Wellness Committee, we're doing well. We've been very busy. Our totals, dentists, 22 licensed practitioners. We've got 17 dentists and 6 hygienists. We got 1 new hygienist that's come into the fold, and we've gotten her set up, and that's going well. New information. Dr. Griffin, he joined our committee. He'd had some technical difficulties, but he has joined our and actively participating. I don't know if you all know Dr. Griffin, but he's a vital part of our committee now. We're really glad to have him. He has a lot of expertise that we've already capitalized on. So he is participating. So we're
First name, Johnny.
Johnny.
Okay.
Yes. If you saw him, he looks like a Johnny Griffin. He does. He would say that too, I think. Let's see. We're anticipating an update on the name change, and we're waiting. That's all in the works because we want to be known as something different, as the Alabama Dental Professionals Wellness Committee. We don't want to be called impaired. We don't like that. The nonprofit, Dr. Garver and I are working on that. We're making progress on that. I'm meeting with Dr. Clater, who is the director of the North Carolina Caring Professionals. I'm going up there to meet with him September 18 through 20. He has a conference that he puts on, and I'm going to meet him ahead of time, and I'm probably going to stay late. He's kind of my hero. So I'm going to spend some time. He's the one that set up North Carolina's nonprofit. He's the big dog in that area in our ways. So, and it's also great to find out what other states are doing in wellness because that keeps us all going with that. So we know where we are. Same problems. Our program is comparable to his though, is the number of participants though. So he was telling me that, and if we can monitor ours like he does or model it after his, I think that we'll never go wrong. I've got, let's see, August the 21st is the National Council of Dental Health Professionals on August 21st. It's the first virtual meeting, and our own Melody Jones, Dr. Jones, is one of the panelists on it, and y'all know the history of that and what she has done for wellness. So that's quite an honor that she is on that panel, and it's also the first meeting of that, the Council on Health Programs. So that's something that's exciting that I'll participate in. Our new structure is working great. We can't tell you enough good things and thank you enough for how well it's working. It's protecting dentists and hygienists. The idea that a dentist can have this problem and go back to work and not be punished by the insurance company is huge. And, that is working in our program, and we can't thank you enough for that and the protection that it provides. We have one meeting of our committee in the next few weeks, discuss several issues. We do have issues with people, especially when they first come into our program, because it's almost like learning a new way of life. So that's our biggest things that we have to work really hard on at first. Dr. Finn and I are working on some things on the website. We're going to work on that soon. We've already talked about that. It's a name change. All other dentists and hygienists in our program are monitoring compliance, which is no small task for 22 professionals. So we're proud of that fact too. But everything else is in compliance. And we sure thank you for all that you've done for our committee over the past year. I mean, it's huge. Our young people don't realize what a big benefit is, but we try to tell them. But we're good with that. But everything else is good.
All right. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
All right. Down to new business, ADHP administrative hire. Dr. Gray, Ms. Perry.
It's been put into the budget to hire an assistant for ADHP. We've put a lot on Bosma. We put a lot on Gina. It's a huge class this year. Just trying to get somebody part-time that could help Gina with whatever she needs, but also maybe take on the role of getting past information and new information into the computer digitally. So when it's needed, we don't have to search quite so much, because now if we want some statistics, it takes a few days to get them. So if we could, just get Gina somebody to kind of help take some of this off of her. I personally would like to see that person be a they maybe could help with the study group, answer some clinical questions. I just think that it's necessary. I think the last big class we had was a couple of years ago, and Gina had mentioned that she needed an assistant then as well. So to give this the best possible outcome with 222 students, I think an assistant would benefit.
And this assistant would report directly to Sharon and to you, Kelly, is that correct?
Sharon, definitely.
Okay.
If they have a problem, I'm happy to assist,
Okay.
but if they need something, Sharon would definitely be their point of contact. I'm not saying that I'm not available if they want me to jump in and help, but Sharon would certainly handle that.
Okay. Do we have a job description
Mhm.
for this person, or have we thought about it?
Yeah, we actually worked on this when we gave it to Dr. Gray, day before yesterday. I
Yeah.
think.
I thought it looked comprehensive. Can you send that to all of us just to, but yeah, it has been developed.
And what does part-time mean?
20 hours.
20 hours.
20 hours a week.
20 hours a week?
And what salary range?
It's budgeted at 35. It's budgeted in. I would also say that those hours might not be a traditional Monday through Friday. Those hours might be helping on Saturday. Those hours might be whatever is needed. You know, I don't want to lock them down to, you got to be a Monday through Friday, because if it's class and Gina
Right.
needs them on Saturday or Sunday, I would like them to be able to help her. Because again, this is for her.
What number did you suggest? I'm sorry.
It's in the budget at 35. I didn't suggest the
35,000.
number.
Yeah, it comes out to be 22 per hour.
Okay, all
So,
right,
yeah.
okay.
The goal is to keep it in line, you know, with what's reasonable, but also make it competitive, because you're most likely we're going to have, I could see somebody doing this part-time that's a hygienist. So you're trying to compete with, you know, the hygiene pay, but,
Do we need a motion to create this position?
I think the position was created a while back under another director, was it not? And then it was kind of, okay.
Okay. I think it's always safest, don't you? Okay, somebody make the motion.
Motion.
A motion has been made, by Ms. Perry.
Second.
To,
Good. Sorry. Sorry.
I'm sorry, oh, she was seconded.
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
Good deal. A motion has been made and seconded, by Ms. Perry and Dr. Talbot, for the ADHP administrative hire, part-time, which is 20 hours, at, 35,
22 an hour,
22 an hour.
approximately 20 hours a week.
And, reporting, to, the executive director. Call the question. McElwain, yes?
White, yes.
York, yes.
Bishop, yes.
Talbot, yes. Perry, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, and Dr. McElwain,
Yes, ma'am.
just putting it out there. The 35,000 was a placeholder we put in there a few days ago. Dr. Gray and I determined to 22 an hour today, so that does not equate to 35. I'm just making sure everybody knows
Okay,
that.
that's fine.
Okay.
I want to make sure the numbers, what the numbers.
Yeah, the numbers were correct.
Okay. ADHP student who got sick and had to miss class, Miss Latham.
Yes, sir. We have a student on the fourth day, which was Saturday of our 4-day kickoff weekend. Came to me around 8:30. The student was present in class, but came to me around 8:30, not feeling well. Visibly, the student did not look well. So it was determined that she felt like she could not continue and stay. She needed to leave. I advised her all the protocols she should follow. Go to an urgent care center today, get an excuse, submit all this to me. This student was very compliant, followed the protocol and procedure perfectly. And I request and advocate for this student to be allowed to remain and continue in the ADHP.
All right. Ms. Latham has advocated for the patient, to be excused. I'll make that motion. Second. Second by Dr. White. McElwain, yes.
White, yes.
York, yes.
Pizza, yes.
Talbot, yes. Harry, yes.
Gray, yes.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Is
Oh,
there not a
take-
way we can have a policy that would cover that without having to make that request all the time?
Yeah, I think it's in there, it's case by case.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so we're on, let's see, new business, item C, update on ALDA and board joint committee meeting. So, back at the beach meeting, ALDA passed resolution 3B that they wanted to continue, with joint committee meetings between the board, and ALDA through, subcommittees. It was determined by our general counsel that such meetings were subject to the Open Meetings Act. And so when ALDA reached out to the board agreed to have these joint committee meetings, mainly to, they were wanting to stay abreast of information of possible DPA updates and changes or board rules that might be on the horizon, which the board was happy to meet with. Upon finding out that the meetings were mandated on our end to be public, ALDA subsequently determined that they were not willing to meet in public. They only wanted a private forum, which we cannot do. So I just wanted it on the record that that was ALDA's choice to not meet as a resolution required and not the board's. So if we could put that in the record, I would appreciate it. Any questions?
I guess my question is, why can't it be open? Why are we wanting to meet in private? I'm confused.
Well, that'd be a question for Mrs. Huebner and ALDA, not the board.
Can somebody answer that for me?
Yeah,
Thank you.
so when you're talking about, when you're looking at proposed legislation, like if when the board plans to propose legislation, you can't negotiate legislation word for word, page for page in a public forum. I think you're gonna find when you get to the point where you wanna go to the legislature, if these conversations haven't been had ahead of time, they're gonna send us back to have them. So years ago, we established the joint committee. At that time, it was 3 members of the Board of Dental Examiners, 3 members of ALDA sitting, across from each other and spending, if they needed to, 2 or 3 hours to go through something. And you just have to have those conversations. I think you'll find when there are entities interested in your proposed legislation, they're gonna wanna sit down and talk to somebody, and you won't have the time or the ability to call public meetings.
So, but
And have them come to the board to do that. So, that's the way we've done it in the past, and it worked well, and, that's what we're interested in continuing.
So by that logic, you understand that the board and ALDA will not be discussing anything of such nature moving forward.
If
And
that's the position of the board, then
So
be
that,
it.
that's the position of state law. It's ALDA's choice to not have the public meeting. So I want to be very clear that ALDA is choosing not to speak with the board, not that the board is choosing to not speak with ALDA.
One thing's for certain, we will have to speak between now and the legislative session. We'll just have to figure out the best way to do it when the
We're just going to have to do it in public.
we'll have to do that.
Yeah, you're just going to have to decide whether or not you're willing to do it in public, which makes total sense. I don't buy the argument that you can't negotiate something in public personally. I think that looks weak. I think it looks coercive, and I think it looks non-transparent.
So when you're standing in front of the legislature with a proposed bill, when your lobbyist is, and another entity besides ALDA or the board has an amendment they'd like to talk about beforehand, you're gonna call a public meeting 7 days in advance and.
If it's going to come before the board for a vote, we absolutely are, because that's what the state law requires. And I hope you can respect that.
We do respect that, which is why we said, that's fine.
Well, that's why you said you weren't willing to meet. You didn't say it was fine. You said you weren't willing to meet with the board.
Dr. McElwain, what are your thoughts about the history of the joint committee and it being, and Dr. Piszczek, both of you have participated in it?
I think that joint committee work was a good thing. I think that we are now under intense scrutiny about doing things like that. And Cameron, you correct me or modify, but my understanding was that we had been advised by our legal people that if we are having a committee in where things are discussed that we're going to come back before the board for a vote, that can no longer be a non-open meeting.
That is correct. Any committee meeting, so in this case, a subcommittee meeting, if there's a quorum present of the board and they're discussing things that'll ultimately come up to the vote, those are subject to the Open Meetings Act and have to be made present. I mean,
Was the joint committee in the past a formal subcommittee of the board, or it was just people sitting down talking to each other? I don't know.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I think it was appointed by the board and with a motion and a vote.
To be honest, it was probably subject to the OMA. And now that we have current legal advice that's made us aware of that we want to be compliant, that moving forward, we have to have it in public.
You understand?
Cameron, you said one thing. Right. You said core. And that I want to make sure I get this right.
Yeah.
Because it to me, okay, if the committee has 3 people on it.
then 2 qualifies as a quorum.
Yeah, it's a quorum of the subcommittee.
Oh, quorum of the subcommittee.
Yeah, so if you break it, and the reason being, the theory behind.
I was thinking a quorum of the whole board, and I was saying, well, maybe.
No, if you broke it into a subcommittee, then it falls down to the quorum on that one. Or I think it goes to 3 if you have more than that.
Okay, so you can have a one-on-one discussion with me and anybody at ALDA is fine.
That's right. That's correct.
There's nothing with that. It's when we gather together in anything sanctioned by the board, that we've been cautioned that if those matters are going to come back before the board for any kind of vote, that we may be in violation if we don't do it.
That's right. And for the record, a one-on-one or a one board member with ALDA's subcommittee was offered to ALDA, which they declined as well.
Okay.
So,
With a public reporting
yeah,
of.
exactly. As soon as it became public, ALDA backed off and said we're not interested.
Because you really can't, I think you'll find, and we understand the position and we're fine with that. We understand. I think you'll find when you get in the legislative process that you cannot call public meetings and negotiate legislation. There has to be
I understand that.
decisions made in the split second.
Here's what I don't understand. We want to talk about, we don't get emails, we didn't get surveys, we can't do this or we can't do that. Here we are to where we can go over what we want to change, what needs to be changed, and let them see it. That's their obligation. Watch it. We don't have to worry about a survey. We don't have to worry about an email. They can hear us, they can see us, and they can't
interact with you though.
They can call. They can email. You sit back there and email people all the time. You text people all the time. You talk about people all the time. You're constantly doing that. You're informing the people you need to inform. My point is at some point in time, we have to all realize that we're here to do what's best for the people and quit going, I don't want to talk about that in public. I'm going to talk about that in private. We just need to communicate and fix or try to fix some of the things that are wrong. And if that means doing it right here, that's where we need to do it.
Cameron, I got a question. If the board, all of us talks to ALDA, but we don't have, all 7 of us or 6, and we don't have a quorum to talk to that, then we bypass that. In other words, we're setting up subcommittee. So let's get away with subcommittee. All of us is going to talk to ALDA, but only 3 members show up because we voted for all the members to be in talk with ALDA, but only 3 showed up. That's not a quorum. correct?
Yes, it is.
Well, no, because we selected that all of us is gonna meet with Elder.
You're correct, but there's a provision that says 3 members or a quorum, whichever.
Oh, 3 members to a quorum.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so even if it's the whole board and you pick 3 members, once you get to 3 members, now you're subject.
What about 2 members?
2 members, I think. You'd be
Okay,
fine.
then
That falls up under the level, but it would have to be not a subcommittee that you've
Right.
designated to make a decision to report back to the committee.
Then that's the solution. They have 2 members to talk to Elder.
We offered 1-to-1 and they said no.
Well, guess what?
Dr. Gray had offered 1-to-1 with a public report
Well, if it's
of the
2
meeting.
Right.
if it's 2 members, do you negotiate? You have to negotiate most likely. in
And it doesn't matter if it's public, private, or whatever. I can just tell you right now, whatever we meet and discuss, I'm gonna make it public. That's the oath of all, that was a pillar of what I ran on, was transparency. So, I'm just moving right through anything that ALDA and any of this bureaucracy of, secret and off the record because you can't get stuff done. And the first thing I'm gonna question from ALDA is, what do you have to hide? Why don't you want it public? It stinks. I'm sure you can see that. So why don't you get on board and start having public discussions, just like everybody at this table wants and is required by law? I'm done.
You mean public discussions like the Mighty app, public discussions that board members participate in?
It's absolutely public.
Is that a notice public meeting?
That's not the board, that's individual
It's
people
not
speaking.
board members.
It's individual people speaking. They are not speaking as a group coming back to the board, okay?
So are those discussions publicly reported after they're had?
If you want to make a public records request, by all means, call Austin Stiles and ask him.
Listen, we have worked together with a joint committee for many, many years. Our approach is just to continue that and to work through legislation.
In private and public.
Profit.
Okay, so you want to continue behind the scenes negotiations, got it.
I think you're taking it out of context, and I'm not gonna argue with you. But when you get into the legislative process, you will find that you have to have conversations. You have to.
And never had them then.
I mean, you know that that's the way it works.
I know when we get there, we have to be able to be very nimble to get anything passed.
When we get there. But the process of getting there needs to be open and public. The process of getting there needs to be, you sat back there yesterday and said, oh, we need to get more dentists involved. We need to get them on board. Get them on board. Have meetings together. Get them on board. Quit keeping them in the
You
dark.
do, and I understand your position and your comments, and I'm not gonna say anything else, but thanks for.
I'd like to make one comment. And I hear exactly what Michelle's saying about the past, and it worked well in the past. It did. But I would submit to you that it was done incorrectly in the past.
Exactly.
And that's why it cannot go forward. And I'm not trying to be argumentative. I'm just trying to set the stage. It was done incorrectly in the past. Sunset has now said we can't do that anymore due to the OMA. And that's why I kept texting Cameron last week, bugging the fire out of him while he is trying to get something done, I'm sure, trying to make this happen. But Cameron, since Michelle brought it up, as far as an individual dentist, like any of us, posting something online, that is not, are we violating anything from the board as possibly has been alleged from doing that? Or do we need to stay off that as long as we're not bringing something back to the board to vote on?
It's a slight distinction y'all just have to be careful of. As long as you're not posting messages as this is my position as a board member. If you're a private person, you can do whatever you want, have your opinions, whatever you want. And if you're having a discussion as me as a board member and you as a board member and making decisions, then you flip back into the Open Meetings Act.
Okay, thank you.
And just so, Michelle,
One second, so I'm not alleging anything. It was just a question I'm asking, trying to navigate.
I'm sorry.
What way can you talk and what way can you not? Like if we were to put together a discussion forum and each one of you got on there online and we talked about it that way. You asked for feedback, right? You've asked for feedback before on other public internet forums. So feedback, direction, requests for things like that. I was just trying to find a way that we could continue to talk about things ahead of time and it not have to be in a notice meeting and and that kind of thing, but I'm sorry, Dr. White, what were you saying?
Well, I was just gonna make sure you understood, when I rotated on the board, we were having private subcommittee meetings. And we learned after, I think we were involved in several, and we had to literally have people drive here because we were doing it the wrong way. And after we found out, it's just kind of, you know what, let's follow the rules. I know the Mighty app that you're talking about. I'm not a participant myself. I am a member of it, but I don't know any board member on the Mighty app that posts anything for the board. And I may be incorrect about that.
I'm not addressing that. What I was asking is if we were to have an internet forum like that, to have a conversation, would that be okay?
I'm saying that it's not gonna be okay because we are representing a board. That's the difference. If we're talking to you, we are representing a board. Otherwise, why are we even talking? We're wanting to make changes. We're wanting to come back and vote on that. Therefore, we're representing a board.
So if you're talking to licensees, it's not the same thing? You're not representing the board?
I am, but I'm not asking them to come up here and help me make a vote. I'm having a conversation about their license, or I'm having a conversation about my opinion. I'm not saying, hey, I, Kelly Perry on the board, say, I'm saying, this is my opinion as a hygienist, not as a board member. But if I'm doing something as a board member and we're wanting to make changes and come back and vote on that, that has to be public. And I'm still unclear of why public is a horrible thing. I'm unclear as to why transparency is horrible right now. I don't understand that.
I just wanted to say, Dr. White's right. As far as subcommittee goes, once we learn this, when we were going through our first general counsel resumes, we had it narrowed down, but we had our top three. And so I had to drive down here from Arab 2 hours. I sat right here. Well, no, it was the old desk actually. So I didn't sit right there, but I was for 5 minutes. And then I got in my car and I drove back to Arab. And that was to constitute a quorum for a subcommittee. And so I think I made 5 minutes times 300, that was $100 an hour. So that was kind of a, but anyway, but that's why it is a pain. And I actually asked Reagan in January to please consider trying to find someone that would sponsor a bill to remove that. So that, because so much is done online now. And he just felt like that was going to be too big of a hill to climb in an election year. And so he said maybe this next year that we're going to look at possibly trying to change the Open Meeting Act to where online would constitute a quorum for subcommittees. But that's just a little bit of an aside. It has been looked at. I think it was done wrong in the past. We've done it wrong in the past, but we've now been called out on it by Sunset. We fixed it.
I got two questions. What is the Mighty Act? Okay. So,
It's a discussion forum, Roberto,
okay.
for dentists in Alabama.
All right. Thank you. Second question is, if we don't get ALDA and the Alabama Dental Society on board, we board probably cannot have anything passed through the EPA.
I really think that's the goal. But
No, I'm just saying, if we want little things, we got to work together and find the compromise.
That's my next comment would be, I believe we're at an impasse.
Right.
And so between ALDA and the board, we're gonna have to come up with something or our communication is gonna end here. So, I guess you know where our restrictions are. So what are we going to do to get past this? Otherwise, ALDA will cease to exist, the board will continue, but what's the point?
And the other option is you are asking the board to work outside of what
What's
is required
We haven't asked that. We said we understood.
in order to communicate, which we know we need to do.
Okay. I have continued to talk to individual ALDA people about things that need to happen. And I will continue those conversations. I'm not going to stop. I'll talk to my friends that I've dealt with for years and make them aware of problems and tell them, we have been informed of a constraint the board is under about having subcommittee meetings that are not open. And we have to deal with that. And the board will deal with that appropriately so that we don't do anything to put us in a bad light or Alda in a bad light or cause a problem before sunset. We're going to comply. Regulatory boards are in the crosshairs, and we know that. But that does not preclude any member of this board from having conversations with Alda and talking to them. It is a necessary thing that we talk to our constituents. And there are constituents who are members of ALDA, that are members of the Alabama Dental Society, that are members of various special organizations and are not members of anything. And we need to keep having those conversations. This doesn't need to be an impasse. This doesn't need to be an altercation. This needs to be an awakening of the fact that we were doing things wrong and we've been called on the carpet, and we're going to try to do things right so that we continue the Board of Dental Examiners in the state of Alabama and not be sunset. Okay? And Michelle, I have no animosity or need for altercation or nothing.
I mean,
And
neither do we. We said we understood, and that's fine.
Yes, ma'am. And I
I'm not
want to
sure
do
where all this
everything I
other stuff is
can
coming
to work to further the goals for dentistry in Alabama. And so I will always be available.
Well, I agree with you. We're stronger together, and it isn't practical to think that if we're not on the same page that we can get anything done. I mean, we have to work together to get things done.
Okay.
I think what you said several months ago, it's easier to have a bill fail than to pass one. And if we don't work together, then we know that we will have difficulty getting the things that would move our state forward. And so I'm hopeful that we can somehow work together and make sure that we, ALDA is with the Board of Dental Examiners, and we can do things that's going to help the people of the state, improve the DPA.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Dr. Finn, 9 CE course approvals.
Yes, sir. This time we got a whole lot of people wanting to provide courses. Heart South has their normal BLS and their ACLS courses to be approved. Sprayberry Orthodontics has a couple of classes on here, Singing River Dentistry and 4 from the Complete Safety Works. They all included a course outline as well as the required documents.
All righty. Do I hear a motion that we approve these 9 CE? Dr. Piszczek motions, a second by
Dr. White.
Dr. White. McElwain, yes.
White, yes.
York, yes.
Piszczek, yes.
All righty.
Yes. Dr. Talbot, yes.
Perry, yes.
Cool, yes.
All right, and they are approved. All right.
Before we move on, and while we're under new business, I just want to make mention that Sunset's in Montgomery and we've not talked about travel or hotel or anything. I think we need to put that somewhere to talk about the fact that most of us can't travel the morning of. We need to make arrangements for that. Also, when we go to Maryland, it starts Thursday at 1. That's the ADEX portion. I need clarification on hotel for Wednesday night. I can't even get a flight so far that's going to get me there Thursday at 1. So I don't know who to reach out to for that. Is that something that the board is going to take care of or something that I need to reach out to someone else?
ADEX usually takes care of that.
My understanding is ADEX is not going to take care of it.
ADEX, I actually communicated them via email kind of thing. That they said that they will catch, Thursday and Friday night, but not Wednesday night, is what they said.
Are they paying flight too?
Yes. They are playing.
Okay, so, the board's not gonna have to handle any of those things.
Yeah.
So I just need to know what we're doing about Wednesday. Yeah.
Well, if it is impossible to make travel arrangements that get you there and that it would require a night prior to be able to make those travel arrangements, and the board is having you go, then Dr. Finn, the board would reimburse for that night of extra travel. I mean, that's the only appropriate way to handle it.
I'm gonna reach out to someone on ADEX myself and
Yeah,
talk to
but-
them about the situation.
But if it needs to be done, the board will certainly
Okay.
approve and pay for that.
And then we'll discuss Montgomery. I would like to see us all stay in the same place if possible, just because I need to protect Talbot and White, you know. So I would just like to have a few of us together.
Mark, can I give you what my understanding is about the ADEX trip? But since I've kind of reached out. So to my understanding, ADEX is paying for the airfare. They're going to pay for the hotel for Thursday and Friday night. But the American Association of Dental Board is on the back end of this. So it would be my suggestion that the board pay for Wednesday night and Saturday night, which is kind of weird. But ADEX is paying for the two rooms in the middle there. So ADEX is paying for airfare. They're paying for Thursday night, Friday night, to my understanding. And so I think the board would just have to reimburse Wednesday and Saturday plus any pertinent per diem. That's my understanding.
And we'll make that as a motion. I have a second.
I second.
Second by Dr. Second by Ms. Perry. McElwain, yes.
White, yes.
York, yes.
Bishop, yes.
Talbot, yes. Perry, yes.
Very yes.
All right.
Mr. President, also too, if we could add one quick item of new business that you and I talked about this
Wait,
before.
wait one second. We're not finished with
I'm sorry.
Ms. Perry's.
I'm sorry, Kelly.
We're not finished with, and the board will pay, for travel to and from Montgomery and for spending the night before, so we can get to the meeting.
And do we need to vote on that for being in state?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Can we vote actual expenses?
Yeah, and if you want actual expenses, good point. Not it's $85 a night.
Okay, for actual expenses, the night before and travel. Do I hear a motion?
I motion.
Motion by Ms. Perry, second
Second.
by Dr. York. The air recept's kicking in. McElwain, yes.
White, yes.
York, yes.
Bishop, yes.
Talbot, yes. Perry, yes.
Very yes.
All right, approved. Well, I just want y'all to know that I'm not having fat embolisms. I'm just having embolisms. All right. All right.
Now.
Yes, Dr. York, I'm sorry.
No. So I got an email this past week or so, some of the other guys that had signed up for the Southern Conference of Dental Deans and Examiners last year that got snowed out in Chapel Hill, might have gotten an email also. They are having it at Chapel Hill this year again. Well, not again, but it's scheduled again. Those dates are Friday, January 22nd through Sunday, January 24th. The first thing on the agenda, to my understanding, is a reception that Friday evening. So I think going by state law or whatever, I think Friday travel would be appropriate and then fly back on Sunday. Yes, I know it's a quick trip. But I think that's the way to do that. And then there'll be 2 nights of hotels at the Cottage Inn there. But I just wanted to make a motion. I guess we need to see who wants to go and then maybe make a motion to go ahead and allow that to happen.
All right, Dr. York, clarify for me, about staff, attending that. Are there forums there that would be appropriate for the ED or for the, compliance officer or for the, lawyer?
So Martha, the only one I've been to, because it's my first year, second year last year snowed out, but the first year was the University of Florida. And the whole thing on Saturday, the whole day was based on computerization and AI upcoming in dentistry. And it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. It had a lot of clinical applications. I'm not going to tell you that.
I don't think there were staff members there.
No.
Okay, I was just clarifying because I want to make sure that when we make a motion that we.
No. Yeah, I don't remember that at all. I'm not even sure there was any legal counsel there, was there?
No, it was,
I think it was just
deans and dental board.
Deans and dental board.
The AADB is more for staff and then on board.
Yes, sir.
So that's going to get more mileage on the AADB
Yes, absolutely.
than the deans.
When
So,
we make the motion, we need to remember that we have a new board member coming on, so we might want to just include that vaguely. if we can.
Okay.
So my motion would be, well, I guess, I know I'm going to try to go. Who else is going to try to go to Chapel Hill?
Yeah, I usually.
You are?
Yes.
Me.
Yeah, stick around here for.
Okay, so White,
York.
Talbot, and Perry, to attend the,
Southern Conference.
Southern Conference.
Dental deans and
Dental
examiners
deans.
in Chapel Hill in January 27th.
Dental deans and boards.
Yeah.
Chapel Hill. Okay, and what are the dates?
January 22nd through 24th.
Okay. And we'll approve travel and
Hotel for 2
Hotel.
nights.
Okay.
Hotel for 2 nights, yes.
All right, Dr. York has made that motion. Do I hear a second?
I second.
Second by Ms. Perry. McElwain, yes.
White, yes.
York, yes.
Bishop, yes.
Talbot, yes. Perry, yes.
Gray, yes.
Okay, and that is approved. All right. We are down to dental license applications by regional exam.
I recommend the following for licensure by regional exam following completion of jurisprudence.
Okay, do I hear a motion
So move.
in a second?
Second.
Okay, motion by Dr. Gray, second by Dr. York. McElwain, yes.
White, yes.
York, yes.
Bishop, yes.
Talbot, yes. Perry abstain.
Gray, yes.
And we are down to dental license applications by credentials.
I recommend the following for licensure by credentials upon completion of jurisprudence.
So move.
All right, so moved. Second.
Second.
Second by Dr. White, moved by Dr. Gray. McElwain, yes.
White, yes.
York, yes.
Bishop, yes.
Talbot, yes.
Perry, yes.
Gray, yes. Perry abstain.
Perry abstains.
Sorry.
Dental hygiene license applications by credentials.
I recommend the following be licensed by credentials upon completion of the jurisprudence.
Okay, a motion by McElwain,
Second.
by Dr. White. McElwain, yes.
White, yes.
York, yes.
Bishop, yes.
Talbot, yes.
Perry, yes.
Gray, yes.
All right, retired and disabled licenses. I'll make that motion.
Second.
McElwain, yes.
White, yes.
York, yes.
Bishop, yes.
Talbot, yes.
Perry abstain.
Gray, yes.
All righty. Military spouse portability. I think that's a hygiene. I hear a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Perry, second by Dr. McElwain. McElwain, yes.
White, yes.
York, yes.
Bishop, yes.
Talbot, yes.
Perry, yes.
Gray, yes.
All right, I believe we completed number 16 yesterday, didn't we?
Yes, to read 15. Yeah, I added that. Sorry, my fault. Yes.
Okay. All right, we did that yesterday. Teaching permit, Dr. Hamida Shazari, and that is at, Shirazi. That is, the Dothan for the School of Dentistry. I'll make that motion.
Second,
McElwain, yes?
White, yes.
York, yes.
Bishop, yes.
Talbot, yes.
Carrie abstain.
Okay, yes.
All right, and that is approved. Let's take a 10-minute break.
Thank you.
Good morning. This past month, we completed 3 evaluations. We had a full evaluation in Bessemer, didn't have any issues there. Then I completed OCS facility inspections in Gulf Shores and in Fairhope. We also had 2 inspections for UAB. They're adding 1 location, Love Lady Center. They never have rotated students through there. They decided they're going to start the rotation there, so we went in and did an inspection there. And then up in Anniston with Interfaith, Dr. Cunningham's clinic there, he changed locations. And so we inspect them so they could continue their rotations there. That's it.
All passes?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Anesthesia, Ms. Perry, 2 hours. Dr. Talbot?
Do we need any more for ADHP? Sharon, do you want us to do ADHP this time, or do you want to work on that and let us pick it up next time? What would you like?
Yeah, let me put your updates in there.
Okay, and then we'll do it again?
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Dr. Talbot? Dr. Talbot, let's,
Do you want to sign something?
I'm gonna give each board member, 2 hours to review the board manual and make suggestions to Dr. White, between now and the next meeting, because we like to have that more complete at the next meeting.
Mhm.
So each board member, Dr. Talbot, Fischek, York, White, McElwain, Hope, we approve that.
Okay.
What about you, Dr. Fischek, any special areas?
The DPA.
Okay,
Give me,
would you like DPA work for all board members?
Yes.
yes. 2
2
hours.
hours?
2 hours.
2 hours DPA work for all board members. Dr. York,
No, sir, nothing specific at this time.
okay, Dr. White, okay, McElwain, I'm continuing to research and work on the anesthesia safety, specifically, airway, looking at, cost, availability, structure, how all that can be done. I want 2 hours for that, because I think we gotta nail all that down before we consider a move. Dr. Gray?
I don't have anything except maybe Dr. White needs extra hours in the past for writing that manual. That was, I don't know how long that took you.
Yes, I've been working on it since
Yeah,
May.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I've been approving.
Yeah.
You've been getting, he's been paying you? All right.
But you see mine is a lot higher than everybody else. I've been working on it.
That's good.
All right,
Before, if we can, for the manual, if we can just kind of get the information as quickly as possible, and it's gonna take a while to go through it. Answer my emails and text. And I'll put your information in, but, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I think we have, maybe 2 or 3 copies. One is like an overall. Did I send that to you?
That's the one with the, yeah, the overall copy is on with the board.
Okay.
That's the.
So is that the one there? No, there's a larger one. Yes, because it's a lot of information. But, and most of the information I got from Dr. Finn. She just kind of gave me a whole bunch of stuff that she had, and we just tried to put it all together. But, if we could just kind of get it to me quickly, so we can.
And what we said, we're gonna do, how we're gonna put that together for everybody. Whether we want to have a separate thing, or want to do thing.
Right. I think the bigger one is probably gonna have to be a digital document. And, to be, because I think everybody wants something that they can put their hands on. But I don't know if it's reasonable to do all of that. There's a lot of it. Okay. A lot of it came from the state website. Yeah.
Like, how many? Oh, well, that's not a lot.
No, that's the DC. I don't know if you guys remember, but in June, I said I read down a rabbit hole. And that rabbit hole made me just kind of go. So I finally had to just sit back and just kind of hone in on that.
All right. So, we have the research approval. As always,
I make a motion to approve those.
okay, motion has been made, second by Dr. York. As always, if something occurs during the month that you need to ask for time, you can ask for the time from me or Dr. White. And then we bring that back. Has anybody asked for time in the preceding month? I don't think so. Okay. McElwain, yes?
White, yes.
York, yes.
Bishop, yes.
Oh, yes. Terry, yes.
Gray, yes.
Okay, and that is approved. But if anything comes up during the month, to call me and we can do preliminary approval and then bring it back to the board for any special items. All right?
As far as the candidate for general counsel, general counsel, are we gonna have the same kind of format where you'll have maybe questions for us or?
Yeah, I think that's good. We could each either come up with our own, or we could pull from the database the questions that we had previously, but I think we just follow that same format. I view this as kind of a continuation of that. When we did those interviews, I think, well, we got, that's how we ended up with Mr. Don Harrison.
Right.
Through a different way, but remember we had 3 interviews, so this is kind of a 4th interview, so to speak.
So did you need the time to get that information together?
Sure, I'll take 1 hour if that's okay, and then we'll have those questions ready, and I can email those to everybody, and everybody can pick one. Or if you have your own questions, quite honestly, the best questions come from whatever you want to ask of a potential employee. Yes, please. Sometime on that Friday meeting. Whatever works for y'all.
Sometimes times.
Yeah, the time doesn't matter to me, just as long as it's within the meeting and works for everybody else.
I'd like to ask Don, since he's been sitting over there for a couple months now, if you were sitting over here where we are and you're about to ask interview questions to Mr. Adair, knowing what you know now, what would you ask?
Well, it's such a learning curve to get over here and hear everything going on. No, I thought you all asked good questions of me, and so I can't think of anything but just something on the Alabama Administrative Procedures Act, just something in that vein. Just experience. I think it's in the same vein as what you asked me and what you asked others on the panel.
Now, you know this gentleman, correct?
I do. Yeah, I've known Brett for a long time.
Okay, good.
And I think he's been vetted in some form or fashion for conflicts. But I think, Cameron, were you going to reach out to him and you'll talk and ask more questions on any potential conflicts so we can get ahead of that?
Yeah, and I did, and I spoke with him. Of course, it's preliminary, but everything that we talked about, it didn't seem like there's a conflict that would exist. So I think he should be good, unless something comes out of the woodworks. And then I'll also just talk to him about this general work and what y'all could ask him when he gets here. I think he's done work for boards of education and stuff like that, so he should at least be familiar with the Open Meetings Act. So that's helpful, and then the APA and things like that, because they use similar systems to what we do.
So that's great. Tell us what to ask, so we're not repeating.
I can do that. I'll give everybody one question to ask. I'll assign it.
So Dr. Gray was asking that we amend the research. Okay, just making sure.
And I think he left me out of the manual.
In case we need to vote, I'll make a motion to amend the previous motion to add Dr. Gray 1 hour of research.
And Kelly to the DPA.
And Kelly
to the DPA
who was not named.
Pardon me.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, made, seconded, McElwain, yes?
White, yes.
York, yes.
Bishop, yes.
Talbot, yes.
yes.
Gray, yes.
All right. It's approved. All right, are there any other matters to come before the Board of Dental Examiners? Dr. Fitzgerald.
I would like to have this board to have a proclamation to acknowledge and to congratulate Dr. McElwain, our current board president, for being inducted to the Alabama Healthcare Hall of Fame in 2026. This is a great honor, and we're privileged to have a friend and a colleague that is a Hall of Famer now, and he's above us. So from my humble heart, I think we need to acknowledge, and let's do it.
Amen.
Thank you, I appreciate that. The ceremony is tomorrow in Montgomery. And in dentistry, there have been some great guys that have gone before me and been members of it. Dr. McCallum, Dr. Tom Jones, Dr. Palcanis, and myself are joining the ranks of some people that are tremendous, you know. And the only thing I'll say about it is that my patients, my colleagues, my friends, my partners, my family have been supportive of me because I indulge my need to look out after people, sometimes to the detriment of everybody else. I always, patients came first. And I appreciate that. And I think this board has been a great work. And I thank y'all for being my friends and partners in this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
By Dr. York, second by
Gray.
Dr. Gray. Let's adjourn. All in favor?
All right.
Okay.